So my parents were in the hospital from Memorial Day through Father's Day, not COVID. My dad has stage 4 lung cancer, had a stroke, and he fell in the bathtub. My mom calls me and says, the ambulance came to get him. They're going to take him into the hospital. Then she says, but the news about me is I've been having a stomach ache for the last 2 weeks, running a temperature. I'm going to call for myself. Long story short, turns out she had an infection in her stomach. It blew a hole in her colon, really serious infection. So I went home after a few days to help them get set up at home with an in-home care nurse. And writing has always been a refuge for me when there's challenges. And so I find that when I've got words in my mind and things I'm struggling with, I can put it on the page. So over the last couple of weeks, I created 2 creative nonfiction stories that I thought would be appropriate to share. As you can understand, it's a little bit raw for me to memorize, so I'm going to read them to share. This one's called A Child Goes Home to Lose a Home. A grown woman, almost 40 now, I step out of my childhood room, walk past my parents in their bedroom, my father's 6-foot frame, a skeleton ravaged from cancer. His handheld urinal on the nightstand next to a pair of Depends we've all tried to convince him, unsuccessfully, to wear to make our lives easier. My mother on her side trying to not sleep on the drain in her back or tug at the colostomy bag on her belly. Both of them gray, mouths open, sleeping. Their metal walkers waiting for them to wake up to walk around in what's left of their lives. The TV drones on in the background about the pandemic and protests and a world that's starting to fall apart in 2020. I carry my 7-year-old self with me to the bathroom, and we think to ourselves, has the world ever not been falling apart? Something whispered back at us. Has there ever been a moment more beautiful than this? We look into the mirror for an answer and are met only with a cool summer's breeze and bird song through the window cracked open over the toilet. We splash freezing cold water on our face. Neither of us feels it. We encourage each other. It's gonna get better. The 7-year-old cautions me from experience. It's gonna get much worse before it gets better. Downstairs, the live-in aide talks cheerfully to the cat, and I decide to pretend from now on that this is normal and perfect, that I never want it to end. I've made this promise to myself before, looking into the same mirror. Betrayals recycle themselves around unfinished business, and wounds that have yet to heal, that might never heal. Dying is a cost-effective cure for anything unresolved. I look away from the mirror. This is called What a Miracle Tastes Like. A man I don't know insisted on giving me a package of tea. I didn't want it, and I told him as much, politely at first. He insisted, wouldn't allow me to refuse. It infuriated me. His beard and caramel-colored, sweaty skin, his wrinkled face smiling obnoxiously with unsolicited generosity. As I pushed it away, he pushed it towards me with greater enthusiasm. Finally, he took my hand, wrapped it around the package with a squeeze, and mumbled something over it and into my chest that I couldn't understand. He held my hand firmly there until he let go, bowed and turned abruptly on his sandaled heel, vanished. I felt violated, not only by him, but by everything in my life at the time. This gift, the most recent offense of many. In the 100-degree summer heat and suffocating humidity, everything about me coming undone at the seams, unable to salvage what mattered most. I had no use or desire for Egyptian licorice tea. I cursed him and considered sinister scenarios. It's drugs, stolen goods. It's an item he didn't want, disposable. To not litter, I threw the package in my bag with disgust and forgot about it. Months later, after the worst of my life's storms had subsided and well into the middle of winter, I would dig the bag out from the back of the closet, A sweet, musky smell would fill the space before I'd find the crumpled package. The man's image and our sidewalk exchange flashed before me in full color animation, vivid, intense. The memory transported me back clear through time and circumstances, unharmed. Having dissolved with the last storm cloud, my paranoia had since been soothed beneath dozens of sunsets, each ushering in one expansive, star-filled sky after another. I went to the kitchen to prepare the cup of tea. Everything about it felt perfect. At the kettle's whistle, I removed the tea bag from its ornate pouch, the contents meticulously handmade. On each bag, one of 3 handwritten notes. May this day bring you peace, tranquility, and harmony. You are equally as beautiful as the universe. We are born wise, we are born complete. The tea coated my mouth with a taste so rich it cannot be described or forgotten ever. When my hand wrapped itself firmly around the warm cup, it occurred to me that the man I cursed was not giving me tea. He was giving me this moment. Against my will, he insisted I have it. Indeed, we get what we need, whether we want it or not. That which loves us uniquely and namelessly ensures it is so. The afterword. So blessed be the cursed angels in all of their forms who continue to deliver to the doorstep of us others who don't know how to receive gratefully, who when consumed with storms can't seem to remember there are many special and unexpected moments already created for us that have yet to arrive, to be placed in our hand at their appointed time, in their perfect season, and not a moment sooner.